Hello, beloved. I'm Monica Bermudez. Welcome back to another episode on my podcast. I am actually recording this on Valentine's Day. That is a holiday in the United States. Not sure where else in the world it is. I have here a rose quartz crystal with me for this transmission. So, what I am hearing is that this is a transmission series that has now been evolving twin flame series. And I have some more information on twin flame energy. Actually, I just received a download of information, including a channeled message from the higher self twin flame. And I'll get more into that that information, the synchronicity of how the universe works so magically, especially with these new energies of ascension. So it was really, really like it usually just surprises me every time, even though that I'm aware that these new energies are really at a very accelerated pace of energy. And everything that I share, in my episodes, do carry some energy, or they do carry energy with them to help activate, as well as open up other chambers and channels within yourself that may not be necessarily consciously aware of. So they are working at a subconscious level. And when it is time for it to really manifest in the conscious level, it will. And that is the whole point of our consciousness expansion that we're all going through right now, is becoming self-aware in other aspects of ourselves that are cosmic, galactic, multidimensional, and many areas. I myself have been unfolding in different ways of the layers of different awakening, which I have an episode that talks more about that in the earlier episodes on my podcast. You can find that on there if you're interested in hearing some more about that. So, getting back on this whole twin flame topic of information, I first want to elaborate a little more on the principle of gender, which is one of the principles, one of the main principles that is emphasized in the Hermetic philosophy, or in other words, the Kybalion. And you can find the Kybalion everywhere now these days online, which has to do with Hermetic teachings. Hermes Trismegistus, who is also related to the ancient god thoughts. So they're all intertwined messages, and also related some of the emerald tablets as well. But really, in essence, what it is one of the universal laws. And to understand these universal laws is, first getting a grasp and understanding of it in your own way, of course, and just really integrating that within yourself at an energy level, within your heart, and knowing and manifesting it and mastering it within yourself. So that is part of the ascension that we're all in, is mastering a lot of these universal laws, for us to remain balanced and harmonized with them. So the first phase being an understanding and acknowledgement, and knowing that this information is out there, and it's meant to also activate a remembrance in us as well. So because a lot of this information is already built inside of us within our own soul. And so when we tap into certain information, it's not by chance or coincidence that we hear certain stuff in our life, because there is something there that has to do with some of that remembrance and activation in that area. So the first step is the remembering part. The next part is reconnecting and renewing yourself in those areas with these new frequencies, these new earth frequency energies. So just to elaborate, I know I just went off on a quite a tangent there, but just going back to this principle of gender, that I know that I mentioned that it's not just the um, physical, but talking about the energy. But just to remind you what the quote in the sentence in that Kybalion says, that gender is in everything. everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes being also the physical plane. But I want to explain a little more on this physical plane, okay? So we have, men and women um embody the energy of the masculine and feminine energy within. So it doesn't matter if you're a woman, doesn't matter if you're a man. And just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you just have divine feminine energy. It means that every single human being, every single person has this energy. And it doesn't matter what sex orientation you have. We all have this type of energy of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. So I say sacred, but really it's the same as saying divine masculine or divine feminine. So sometimes you'll hear me say divine or sacred, but they're all the same. And so everybody has this energy within, no matter what the physical um, orientation is, that you have or the preference you have. We all have this energy. And so in some cases, though, we may have, a little more of the other energy or not. And so, for instance, like men could have a little more divine feminine energy, and some women could have a little more of the divine masculine energy. And I did talk more about this in one of the other episodes in my podcast as well. But for purpose of, just a quick recap, one of the things that I found myself with too much of the energy of the divine masculine growing up. And it's not until when, after the divorce, that everything really started to click in a lot of areas. And this part of the divine feminine energy started to really reawaken within myself and to really well, just let me go back to rephrase that. I had too much of the masculine energy, but it was too much of the old patriarch type, dark, the shadow wounded type masculine energy that was too structured, too out of balance, in other words, of the energies within myself. And so I just found myself working more with the divine feminine energy. And so with that has been evolving a lot more of the divine masculine energy, which is in alignment with a lot of the new earth frequency energies. And doesn't mean that it's all perfect and it's all done right there. There's always a work in progress within ourselves as well. So we go through all these different layers, right, of upgrades and different versions of ourselves. And then our perception may shift, and also that will create triggering points within ourselves to reawaken other areas within ourselves. And so really reawakening is just a remembrance of those areas that we already have in our soul, that our soul already knows. So a lot of things will start to unfold. And so going back to this whole principle of gender, it's about really embodying this energy of the two, right? It's the energy of having this sacred feminine and sacred masculine energy to make yourself spiritually and energetically complete in that way. And so that's really what this message behind the Kybalion is saying, which is a really ancient information in relation to twin flame energy. So I want to talk about some more information before I jump into the channeling of information that I received. So where I live now in Mount Shasta, there's a lot of energies, just say vortex energy, which is the reason why I moved here, to be connected more so to the cosmic energies and to bring a lot of that cosmic energy through my podcast, through information that which are transmissions of some sort that are received at a subconscious level of energy. And so within that, mountain in the inner earth is this community of Tellus, which I also talk about in another episode of my podcast. And so basically these are advanced civilizations that carry a lot of the Lemurian energy with them, but they're mixed with different diverse ancient civilizations groups. Like I feel that they also include Atlantis as well. And so I've been connecting a lot with the community and also embodying more of their voice, which is another reason why my vocal cords were resetting and going through some kind of rewiring as well back in January of 2024, going through this really intense accelerated program. And everybody's going to have a different reason for their rewiring of certain chakras, including their throat chakra, because all of us have a very unique ability within ourselves. And what adds to that uniqueness is also our own personal experience and upbringing as well in this lifetime. So that's what makes us very unique, with, the information that we share with others, or, if we're made, um, whether we're sharing it within our community or our family dynamics, or in other means, that is, something within your own heart that is calling you at this time, for that. But, for the purposes of that, I share this information just to ignite or to activate others to also feel that energy within themselves and trust where your energy is taking you right now within your heart. And so in this community of Tellus, though, the energies, the temples that I've been connecting, because they have so many temples, and some of the temples that I was connecting with on this Valentine Day is the twin flame temples. There are many actually within their community. And so I was really connecting with the community, but within that community, what surfaced was this twin flame energy. And then I felt them and sensed them in the temples. So I was sensing them in these twin flame temples, and the message that I was getting was that doesn't matter when I record this, or in other words, when this message, this episode is listened to, it doesn't matter what location it is listened to, you will still receive the energy. And so I, was also asked to provide a guided meditation to connect with this twin flame temple. So you'll receive this energy no matter what day and time you listen to this, and no matter what location you're at. So we're going to conclude with a meditation to connect with them at this twin flame temple within within the inner earth. So that's, what I was getting from them in regards to this. But really the intention around this is to help dissolve any other areas in your life that have been like wounds or grief or anything that, may be bothering you. And if you have nothing, that's okay. You can just connect to the energy um, to enhance and open your heart even more. But they're opening up this opportunity for us to be able to step into these twin flame temples to receive these energies of twin flame within ourselves, however that connects with us. So it doesn't matter if you have a soul contract or an agreement to be in a twin flame union with someone in the physical form on this earth's surface. It's really about just receiving this twin flame energy, because this applies to all of us, because we all hold this energy within ourselves of this the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine energy. So it really would enhance that within ourselves as well. And so this is, the information that I was getting from them that I was so excited to share with you. Um, so I want to jump into this channeled message, but this channel message comes from the higher self twin flame. And so I will just read this message because I wrote it down. I was actually this morning working on other stuff, and all of a sudden I received this download of information that I had to really write down. And so I figured I would just say it, read it to you as soon as I was able to come to my podcast to record an episode, which I'm doing right now. So just open your heart to this message and listen from within your own heart. So just tapping into your heart. opening up that connection to your own twin flame energy within you. Let us speak as one and let the flow of Christ consciousness expand within you as you hear these words. The words that vibrate at a certain frequency land within your twin flame heart. Your awakened, completed heart is the key to breaking cycles upon cycles of generations from many star nations, including Earth. Your twin flame heart is a catalyst to usher in new encodements of the higher order and ignite the flames of eternity. Once again, open up and expand to these words. Welcome to the home of your heart and to the home of your soul. With love, your higher self, twin flame. So let's just let those words sink in, and just want to share this because I was actually in tears of joy when this really came through in a channeled message. And I really connected at a very deep twin flame love, which is the love that many twin flames claim, they feel in so many of the different cases. And, it's a kind of love you can't really express in words, but the experience of it is so deep. So in the morning when I wrote this and I channeled it, later on in the afternoon, I remembered that I have this electronic oracle card deck that's called Twin Flame by Cassady. Can't remember her name fully, but I'll write it in the description area. And I did like a really quick reading electronically. And I'm gonna post this actually in one of my social medias to show you. But the card that came up was it was a complete synchronicity because I just channeled it in the morning, and the card that came up was, and I can't make this up, it was twin flame higher self, and it talked about the eternal flames. And so it just gave a huge confirmation of synchronicity from the universe of this message that wants to be transmitted to you right now. So an emphasis on it, and that I was feeling the impulse to share with you, which is why I jumped on as soon as I could to record an episode on this in this transmission and share these words. And you can go back and re-listen to that and just really feel into your heart and work more through the different layers of your heart as well, because the message or the information that I'm getting right now is it is also opening up other chambers within your heart. So definitely, go back and re-listen to that. So I'm going to, now it will be the appropriate time, I feel that, to jump into this guided meditation. So let's jump into this guided meditation to go meet up with the Telosians in a twin flame temple. Before we go in, though, I have a proclamation. And this is a proclamation for us to make together. So you can repeat after me to this phrase. You can say it out loud or you can say it mentally. So here it is. I am open and surrender to the love that I am. I am open and surrender to the love that I am. I'll just say it one more time. I am open and surrender to the love that I am. And just really feel that into your heart. So let's now go into this twin flame temple together. So make yourself comfortable in the most comfortable position as we now connect to our hearts, connecting to the heart of Tellus in the community as we make our way in our astral bodies. That this portal is opening up for us to enter, and we find ourselves in front of the most beautiful twin flame temple, decorated with all crystals, illuminated with such bright colors. And some of these colors will appear different for you. This will be something unique to you. As you could see, these statues in the front as well that represent the twin flame energy, the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine. As you make your way into the temple, you enter in this silence connected within your heart. And you're being welcomed by a Telosian guide who is taking you in and having you take your place within the temple. And as you enter, there are other unique colors to you of all kinds. And it's also decorated with other statues representing the divine feminine, the divine masculine energy, and the different crystals to embody all of this as well. Opening up now this space and energy for this opportunity for you to heal anything at this time, anything that you wish that you need assistance in dissolving and allowing the twin flame energy to assist you. And if you don't have anything, just feel the energy. And before you depart from this twin flame temple, receive now some twin flame encodements within your heart. These will unfold in the most appropriate time for you to become consciously aware. expanding and opening your heart. So it is time now to make your way back to your body as the Telutian guides you out of the temple of twin flame energy. Give yourself all the time to integrate what you just received. Many blessings.